What if I told you that the law is like a luxury car? Whoever has more money gets the better model. Sounds cynical? Maybe. But let's, for just 1 minute, forget everything they drilled into us in school about equality before the law. Imagine an old, creaky scale. On one side, we put you, an ordinary person, and on the other, a giant corporation, the kind with an annual budget bigger than a small country's. In a real courtroom, whose side do you think will slam down? And understand, this isn't just about money. It's about the entire system. A system where justice is no longer a blind goddess with a blindfold. It's a commodity, and every commodity has a price. To understand how we got here, we need to go back in time. In the 20th century, two titans clashed in the philosophical ring. One of them, John Rawls, proposed a brilliant idea. He said, imagine you haven't been born yet. You're a pure spirit floating in non-existence. And you don't know who you'll be, the son of a billionaire or a child from the slums, a genius or a person with disabilities. What laws would you create for the world you're about to enter? Most likely, you'd try to make it as fair and safe as possible for everyone, especially for those who might get unlucky. Rawls called this justice as fairness. Beautiful, isn't it? But then another guy steps into the ring, Robert Nozick, and he says, stop, stop, stop. All your fairness is robbery. The main thing is freedom and the right to what you've earned through your labor or intellect. If you created something valuable and got rich, it's yours. And no one, you hear me? No one has the right to reach into your pocket for some common good. Guess which idea won in the real world? We took Nozick's philosophy, cranked it up to the max, and got a world where the right to a giant yacht is sometimes, for some reason, more important than a person's right to affordable health care. And this is where it gets really interesting. How does this system work? How does it help the rich get richer every single day? Number 1, lobbying. Sounds like something from a political science textbook, right? But in reality, it's the legalized superpower of corporations. They spend billions of dollars to friendly persuade politicians to pass laws that benefit, only them. Pharmaceutical giants persuade them not to lower prices on life-saving drugs. Oil companies ask to weaken environmental regulations. It's not a bribe, of course. It's a civilized dialogue. Number 2, taxes. Oh, this is my favorite song. Did you know that multi-billionaire Warren Buffett once admitted that he pays taxes at a lower rate than his own secretary? How? How on earth is that possible? Very simple. Through clever loopholes in the tax code, which were written, yes, with the help of those very same lobbyists. Offshore accounts, complex investment funds, donations. For you and me, it's a dark, impenetrable forest. But for them, it's a wide, illuminated highway to a tax haven. And finally, number 3, the cherry on this cake of injustice, the too big to jail principle. Remember the 2008 financial crisis, when the guys on Wall Street played casino with our money and everything collapsed? Millions of people around the world lost their jobs, homes, savings. And what happened to the culprits? Maybe they were put on trial, sent to prison? No. Their banks were given trillions of dollars of our tax money, and the top executives wrote themselves multi-million-dollar bonuses for a good job. They were called too big to fail, but what it really meant was too rich and powerful to be judged. And now, just compare that to the guy who got 5 years in prison for stealing a loaf of bread. Feel that difference? Hold on, some of you might be shouting. This is all populism. The rich create jobs. They drive the economy forward. And that's true. Partially. Yes, companies create jobs. But tell me, does creating 100 jobs justify evading $1 million in taxes? Taxes that were supposed to go to the school where the children of those same workers study? To the hospital where they're treated? It's a tough question. Another argument, but America is the land of opportunity. Anyone can pull themselves up by their bootstraps. And again, yes, we all know and love the stories of self-made millionaires. They're inspiring. But statistics are a stubborn and cold lady, and she says that the social elevator has slowed down a lot in recent decades. Today, it's much, much harder for a child from a poor family to make it to the top than it was 50 years ago. So, is it all hopeless? Is justice just a pretty lullaby sung to the poor to keep them from rioting? No, I don't want to believe that. The system is broken, deeply, but it's not dead. All over the world right now, people are starting to wake up. There are movements for tax justice, for government transparency, for limiting the power of corporations so their voice isn't louder than the voice of millions of citizens. Because real justice isn't something that's given to us. It's not a statue in the city center. It's a verb. It's something you have to fight for every single day. And the very first, most important step in this fight is to rip off the blindfold and stop believing the myth that the law is the same for everyone. So the next time you hear the phrase equal opportunity on TV, just ask yourself one question. For whom are they truly equal?